Meet Mike Tyson, also known as the baddest man on the planet.
I want your heart. I want to eat his children.
The man who had a mindset of a warrior.
There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous.
He wasn't always like this. When he was in his early teens, he would meet two men who would change him for the better. But what happens when the two men he idolized fall from grace? This is the story of Mike Tyson and his conqueror for revenge. Tyson was born and raised in the Brownsville neighborhood in Brooklyn, New York. Brownsville wasn't a pretty place to live in, quite the opposite actually. It was a neighborhood infested with crime, poverty, pimps, prostitutes, and drugs. His family consisted of his brother, sister, and mother who was a prostitute. Tyson grew up in a household with not a lot of food or money and relied on welfare. Unfortunately, Tyson and his sister would fall into the street life.
I've been arrested 40 times before I was 12.
40?
Before you were 12?
Yeah.
What kind of things can a 12-year-old do to go to prison?
I did burglaries, jostling, pickpockets, snatching jewelry, one-punch knockout, going in the pocket, or strong-arm robbery.
And he eventually falls into the world of drugs.
When did you first try any drugs?
Kid, 10
When you were a
years old,
kid?
9 years old.
What kind of shit?
Smoking and drinking.
Right. When was the first time you did coke?
I don't know, I was a kid, 11, 12.
Shit.
Because when I was younger, you know, my mother, who wasn't educated on drugs and alcohol, even though she'd been in college, in order to perhaps get me to go to sleep, I was making a lot of noise. She would give me alcohol.
Wow.
Thinking I would go to sleep, you know.
Yeah.
At that time.
And it was not too long after where Tyson had to get into fights whether he liked it or not, because in the cold streets of Brownsville, it was a dog-eat-dog world. You either fight back or let the streets predict your demise.
I was bullied a lot as a kid. I used to have pigeons when I was 8, 9 years old. That's just what we do in Brooklyn, New York. We fly pigeons. I don't know why, but that's just what we do. One particular time, some bully
Took one of my pigeons, and so I said, please, give my bird back. He's an older guy. I must have been 9. He must have been 15 or 12. 15, 13. He was a teenager. And I said, give me my bird back. He said, fuck you, fat nigga. So he took my birds. He clipped my bird's head off, and he hit me with the fucking bird. Mm-hmm. And some other guy that used to abuse me and bully me, he said, yo, man, fight him back. I fought back. I had a fight with a guy, but then I fought his father up when I was a kid, though, yeah.
In the ring?
In the street.
You fought a son and his daddy on the same day.
Yeah.
And whooped them both.
Yeah. Might kill my pigeon. It was a wrap.
Yeah. But is that how you got into fighting? No, just
no, that's my first fight ever in my life over the pigeon.
You say 16, 17?
I was 11.
I like fighting ever since because it gave me attention. People say, hey, you was that guy that beat that big kid up. You was that guy. And I was like, everybody knew me from that incident. And that's how I started fighting. I probably had like 3 fights, 4 fights a day. In my life, I probably had 400 fights.
How many?
400.
Wow.
So after that, everybody would bring other kids from different neighborhoods around to fight me for money.
Really?
So I would fight for money. Yeah, guys would give me some stuff. I would just fight people from different neighborhoods and stuff.
Mm-hmm. When did you realize, like, you are stronger than the average human being?
All of the tough guys and the criminal guys wanted to hang out with me then.
9 years old, 9, 10, 11.
9, 10, 11.
So now go 11, 12, 13. What happens next?
I got locked up, became a criminal. I'm knocking people out, taking their money. So I'm in Sparfit, detention for boys. And Muhammad Ali, they showed the movie The Greatest. It's like 77, 76, I'm 11 years. They played Ali, and then Ali walks in, then talked to the kids. And I saw him, I saw everybody going crazy. I said, I want to be like him. And so later on, a couple of months I do in Sparfit, so I go to another place. They ship me off to another place. And in this place is a gentleman named Irish Bobby Stewart. He's an ex-professional fighter. Not a big-time fighter, but just a former professional fighter. 4 10-round fights, never big time. And every weekend he started... he would box with the kids, and then this guy knocks on my door. I heard you want to talk to me. What do you want? I said, I want to be a fighter. He said, everybody wants to be a fighter. You show me you want to be a fighter. Let's just see how your conduct is. And I went from being a really jerky, nasty guy to becoming an ace student. And then he started training me. One particular day, he boxed me, and he beat the shit out of me, but I took the beating. He hit me in the stomach. I fell down. I got back up, but he kept beating the shit out of me. But I took it, and he thought that was a badge of courage. And so he started boxing me, started teaching me how to box.
And then eventually I was, 13 then. I became too good.
And one day I think he had a black eye, broke his nose, right? And he got mad. I didn't know he was mad, but he's mad that his wife didn't want him to box me no more, and that's why he was mad. So he said, okay, I'm gonna take you to this other place, and we're gonna take you to the next level.
And after Mike gets out of prison, Irish Bobby Stewart takes him to a man who would change the course of his life forever. Cus D'Amato was a boxing trainer from the Bronx, and eventually becomes more than a trainer to him. Cus D'Amato lets Mike live with his own family, becoming his mentor, but most importantly, a father figure he never had growing up.
What was he like?
Total disciplinarian.
Yeah.
Take no.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I need.
Not a weak man.
Those signs of weakness.
He just accepted me like I was a son, just off the street like nothing. And just whatever went wrong, we had to deal with it. And whatever went well, we dealt with that too.
If he weren't here, I probably wouldn't be alive today. The fact that he is here and doing what he's doing, and doing as well as he's doing, and improving as he has, gives me the motivation and interest to stay alive. Because I believe that a person dies when they no longer wants to live.
And that's why I had a wonderful time with him, because everything about his life was about me. And so I never had a father, but I know what it's like to want to make a father happy. And so I wanted to be champion to make him happy. When I was born, I think he was 56 years old or something. I always say that. This guy saved my life, so when I was born, he was this old.
Right.
And just meeting him and him inspired me. No one can inspire and reach deep down in the core of me like he could to make me want to succeed.
Did you know who he was?
I had no idea. I had no idea about boxers.
Wow.
I was just doing this stuff. And I boxed with Bobby, and Bobby really he like bloodied my nose, and he beat me up really bad that particular time because I was really putting it on, trying to impress Cus. And Cus said, this is the next champion, providing he doesn't lose interest. So he said how old he was. And I said he's 13. And then Cus said he's lying. He doesn't want to go to prison with the grown adults, so he said he was 13.
Wow.
And so Bobby Stewart, he said, tell me the truth. After all these years, I've been there 2 years with him, and I said,
tell me the truth and don't lie. How old are you? I said, you got my birth certificate. What does it say? 12. He said, oh yeah, you're all right.
And then cussing those guys just automatically, I didn't even agree to it. They said, this is what you're going to do. You're going to be heavyweight champ. You're going to win the Olympics. You're going to win the gold medal. You're going to do this. And you're going to become heavyweight champ. You're going to be this and that. And I didn't want him to think I was afraid. And
Mike never heard words of affirmation in his life. This was because he grew up not in the best situation. But Cus was an intelligent man, a man who was heavily interested in psychology, and he used it to their advantage.
He used to take me to a hypnotist. He was a hypnotist as well, yeah. And I used to go into the hypnotist motions, focus on blackness, nothingness.
Right.
And you go under and you're just being this savage, intelligent animal. You're just working, you're going to do this. You're going to be a ferocious animal. You're going to fight, punch both hands to the body. You'll use your jab. You're going to do this in ferocious fashion. And they seeked all that in me as I was younger.
And you were like 12, 13 years old?
Yeah.
Wow. So they're putting you under and just teaching you that mindset.
Yeah.
That they programmed you. I mean, that's something that I don't think a lot of people are aware of. They gave you a clear path. They give you a clear path to use your fury with this like very analytical approach with perfect boxing technique and an amazing mentor with incredible amount of knowledge, and they just let you loose.
And that's the start of when Cus D'Amato began to create a beast. But there was one particular day where a switch in Mike Tyson turned on, and it was on
October 2nd, 1980. And he fights Le'Veon. We go to Albany, New York. We live in Castle. We go 30 miles north to Albany, New York, and we watch it on pay-per-view.
Heavyweight champion of the world, Muhammad Ali. The BC heavyweight champion of the world, Larry, the Eastern Assassin, Holmes.
Here we go, Larry Holmes dancing across.
He got a nice right in there.
Oh, that's a good right in.
Didn't know how well he could take a punch.
Both of these fellas have played shot to the head.
Boy, that may not bother Muhammad, it would sure bother me.
The explosive Murray to make some sort of fight out of it. At this point, it's just safety side here. You know, it's pathetic to see a guy just not be able to do what he was as great as he once was.
All I know is that he'll handle it with class. He's always handled it.
He's really a classy guy in every sense of the word. The man is standing there and taking his punches. He's taking his dues, but it's the time now.
He could lay down.
Angelo Dundee wants to stop the fight.
After the fight, we got in the car. No one talked. So we drove 30 miles back to Catskill. We all opened the door. We all went to our rooms. We never talked. The next morning, Cus is on the phone with Muhammad Ali. And, whoa, my feelings are going back there. Ali is calling, Cus is calling Larry Holmes so many bad. How do you let that bum hit on you, Chad Ali? How do you he's a bum? Why you let that bum beat on you? Cus he's almost getting sensitive, emotional. Why is a bum? Almost crying. He's a fucking bum. Why you let him hit you? Why you let him beat her? Boom. So I talked to Ali on the phone. He said, I have a 14-year-old kid. He's going to be heavyweight champ of the world. His name is Mike Tyson. Please tell him to listen to me. He don't know I heard him say that. So he called me and I acted like I didn't know. Duh. So I was on the phone, and I'm on the phone, I'm crying. And he was saying, but I said, when I get big, I'm going to get him for you. I'm going to revenge you. If I said some stupid shit, I'm going to restore your honor.
But it wasn't time for revenge just yet. Mike wasn't ready. Actually, Mike would have to see another fight that would light the fire in him. Muhammad Ali versus Trevor Berbick.
I saw the way he was hitting Ali really hard with everything he had. Ali didn't have nothing left. He was trying to kill him. So I said, I can't wait till I get him.
With his idol and mentor falling from grace, more tragedies start to follow. Unfortunately, Mike Tyson's mother passes away. But just before her passing, Mike Tyson gets her signature to have Cus D'Amato adopt Mike.
Maybe 16 or 17 when I was old enough, because my mother had died and he had to get my mother's signature before she died, and she did. And my mother just couldn't understand why I wanted to stay with these white people. She thought that she wasn't good enough. She was really hurt by that. And I went to my mother's house, and I've never been nothing but trouble to my mother. She always went to court, not the court, but went to precincts all hour at night to get me out of precinct. Just for all my life since I was like 12 years old. She's been doing that since 9 to 12. She's been doing that. Then I have no interest in doing anything. Then go to school, just rob people, snatch people's chains, breaking my mother's neighbors' houses.
I know you lost your mother at a very young age. Did that drive and motivate you just as much?
That was the best thing that ever happened to me, that my mother passed away. Forgive me for saying that. No. That inspired me to really accomplish my goals.
So you did a lot of what you did in your career for her?
Absolutely.
And just 3 years later, Cus D'Amato passes away from pneumonia.
He just met me. I'm a little kid. He said, "You're gonna be the world champ." And how could I ever do an interview about him? I start crying. How did this guy know? How did he know I was the one? And I fell in love with him. He educated me. He made me fall in love. Woo, fuck, shit. Woo, he made me fall in love with myself. The worst thing ever happened in my life, but the best thing too. He made me fall in love with nothing.
All he did was sell me dreams. He would tell me wonderful things, what we're going to accomplish and who we're going to beat and how we're going to help people, what we're going to do. And you're the greatest fighter God created.
He said you kept him alive. We showed a video before you came in, him talking about your presence kept him alive. He said that there's a meaning in my life with Mike in my life.
I don't know about that. It's just that he put that fire in me,
Cus D'Amato, who passed away just last month. How are you dealing without him?
Emotionally, it's difficult because he was like a stern backbone.
He had a lot of belief in me. He gave me the confidence and the belief that I have now. And that's a big asset to my success.
Would it be overstating the case if I said he basically saved your life?
No, not overstating it at all. Not at all, Brian.
After this tragedy, Mike goes on a 16-fight win streak to finally fight for the title, but not against just anybody.
86. You was given your first title defense against Trevor Berbick.
Yeah.
For the WBC Heavyweight Championship of the world. Berbick was the last person to fight Ali, and he hurt Ali very bad. When you fought him, was there any revenge?
100%, yes, no doubt about it. I was going to kill him.
One of the great champions. Let's see how long his reign lasts. He's showing a little false bravado here. Standing toe-to-toe. Not going to be able to get underneath it. Oh, wow. On the right, another left hook. The left hook is Berbick and Tyson clips him with the left hand. Look at this. Combination. And Berbick ready to go. Put this on. But he's been stuck. Bang.
And finally, Mike gets his revenge. Or did he? I think we're forgetting about someone else.
When you had the fight where you're fighting Larry Holmes and Muhammad Ali did the introduction, what did he tell you?
Get him for me.
Let's get ready to rumble! Here we go, round one, the heavyweight championship of the world. Tyson showing no respect so far, pouring in the way he always does, in total fear. Oh, first good right hand corner of Larry Holmes. You hear them continue that round after round. Oh, a big right hand. And he was there running the button.
The man is standing there and taking his punches. He's taking his dues, but it's just the time now. He could lay down as soon as he found out.
Should be hanging on. There with the right hand. Oh, they'll stop the fight. Down he goes. It's all over. He is knocked out. He didn't even bother the count. It was a vicious right hand.
You had the fight where you're fighting Larry Holmes and Muhammad Ali did the introduction. What did he tell you?
They get him for me.
And what happened?
I got him.
After avenging his idol Muhammad Ali, there was something still missing. His father, Cus D'Amato. Without the man who made Tyson the animal he was not there to tame and discipline him. This led to Mike Tyson living a crazy life of sex, drugs, and crime. Before Cus passed, he hypnotized Mike Tyson to become an unstoppable beast. But the thing is, he never told him how to turn it off, which then led him to lose belts and bite ears, and eventually ruined the last part of his boxing career. But eventually he finds a unique way of turning off that switch.
You told me back then I learned how to turn it on, but never turned how to turn it off.
No, I never did. I wanted the fights normally ended so quickly. I still wanted to fight after the fights. So I normally had fights after the fights. Somebody bum out, punch a guy in the club. Oh man.
That's so much adrenaline in your body.
Yes.
What's he going down in one round, right? A few minutes, few seconds.
Did you ever try to go back and get hypnotized after all that's over to try to maybe calm down that part of your mind that they turned on?
I never did. I had the Toad, I think, helped me out.
The Toad?
Other stuff, none of that stuff would help me out.
Yeah.
It has another scientific name. I don't know the name of
5-MeO.
Yeah.
What did it do? What did you feel? What did you experience?
Well, first of all, I died.
Yeah, you felt it.
I died.
Yeah,
I died. I couldn't come back, and I was saying, no, I don't want to die because I got a wife and kids. I don't want to die. And I've never felt the same in my life. I look at people. I even talk to people different since my experience with that. And the only thing I thought of when I came out, the first word that came out was love.
With the switch finally turned off, Mike Tyson continued a successful life. Mentally, emotionally, in business, and most important, love. Earlier in Mike Tyson's life, he lost a beautiful 4-year-old daughter who he will never forget. But he continued to strive for a better life and currently has a loving family.
You told me back 21 years ago, you used to tell me the only reason I'm still alive is because of my kids. You have 5 kids now. Tell us about that.
Six now.
6 now?
Yeah. And most of them, I have one that graduated from NYU. She's going to be director. I have one that's graduated from Georgetown. She graduated from like 7 colleges already. She's like a professional student. Okay, that's all she does. She's in Arizona, and I have one that's an American University, and DC, and I have a 16-year-old that's a homeschooler, and I have a 10-year-old, and I have a 8-year-old that's homeschooled.
Till this day, Mike Tyson will never forget the man who changed his life.
Cus D'Amato passes in 80.
I turned pro 85. Yeah, probably 85.
I just don't know where it came from. I just don't know how I made this old man. He made me this fight.
He made you into this.
I still don't understand it to this day.
Still don't understand.
Who is he? Where'd he come from? What his life was like?
But he loved you.
Yeah.
And at one point he even adopted you, didn't he?
Yeah, when I was 16, when my mother died.
Yeah.
My mother died of cancer.
Yeah. And so he adopted you, and he was your mother, your father, your mentor?
My psychiatrist, yeah, my therapist, he was everything.
Do you think about him even today while you're training?
Absolutely. I think about him all the time. You know what I mean? I think about him all the time. I wish he could have saw my kids. I wish he could have probably seen, you know, what I did, how I did, and how my kids turned out, and how they all went to great schools, and they did cool things, and they're just kids, and they're just really sweet kids that really don't understand life yet, and maybe because they didn't have a father like I had.
If God just came down and gave you a laptop or a computer or a phone and said, you have the chance to send an email to Cus D'Amato, what would you write in that email to Cus?
How did I do? That's what I'm saying. How did I do?
You know what I heard the other day was, no one will ever know the violence it took to become this gentle.